and welcome to another episode of American English and Excellent English. Today we'll be discussing about the most important and very crucial topic, that is how to study English grammar, a guide for English language learners, in which I'm going to take you through step by step. And if you follow the order, and I'm going to promise you this, that you'll definitely be able to speak fluently English. And the steps will help you get started in your English grammar learning path. So let's start. The step 1, start with basic English grammar. Your first step will obviously be starting to learn basic English grammar. So English grammar is extensive and you will be learning it at every level, from the beginner stage all the way to fluency. Start by learning the most basic English grammar rules. These include forming the plural, learning the personal pronouns and the verb to be in the present simple, among others. Continue by studying parts of speech and sentence formation. Thanks to this foundation, you'll be able to produce a lot of new sentences as you learn new words and grammar rules. Parts of speech is definitely going to help you, and it can help you to differentiate the nature of the words. Next, learn how to make negative sentences and questions. This will make your sentence, the sentence bank triple in the blink of an eye. Go on to learning about English spellings and punctuation. You'll want to start writing pretty soon, and you want to make sure you do it correctly, even if everything you write is short, simple sentences. Once you have done all this, try to find some reliable resources for English grammar lessons and exercises. The possibilities here are huge, so choose resources that you really enjoy. At this point, you will realize that English can be learned practically everywhere, from books and websites to apps and private lessons. Don't get too stressed about this at the beginning. Remember that you are only starting your journey, and you will have time to visit all the different steps as you improve your English. These first grammar topics should give you a solid base to help you start other bigger topics such as phrasal verbs and idioms, collocations, word formations, active and passive voice, direct and indirect speech, and much more. For now, focus on the steps presented in this video. You can start with these bigger topics when you finish with these first steps. Step 2. Study the tenses in English. These are crucial, that is very important for every speaker of English, whether they are beginners or native speakers. You should start by learning the simple tenses: present simple, past simple, and future simple. Knowing just these 3 tenses will allow you to place events all throughout the timeline. After this, study the present continuous, the past continuous, and present perfect. With these 3 tenses, you will be able to get more specific when you speak or write and express your thoughts more easily. Once you have learned these 6 basic tenses, you can continue with the rest. You do not have to learn all of them at once, though. Try to include them slowly into your learning sessions, always one at a time. Keep in your mind, always one at a time. The order I find is most useful or helpful for the students after the first 6 is the following. After the first 6 tenses, the following: future continuous, past perfect, future perfect, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. There are several resources you can use to learn and practice English tenses. Now let us look at the step 3. Practice with English grammar exercises. Doing English grammar exercises is possibly the best way to strengthen your knowledge and put yourself to the test. Grammar exercises are super useful for English learners of every level, especially because when you do grammar exercises, you are putting into practice the grammar rules you have learned, which helps you remember them better. You can do grammar exercises on your own, whenever you want, wherever you want. So grammar exercises normally include their solutions, so you will get immediate feedback about how you are doing. Grammar exercises can take the boredom out of the grammar equation. Some of them are fun and entertaining, enough to make you forget you are actually studying a foreign language. Step 4. Sign up for English grammar lessons. Once you have acquired the basic of English grammar, it is time for you to take some English grammar lessons. Defining English grammar lessons can be a difficult task, so to simplify things, we'll say that an English grammar lesson is every English grammar study session you have. Depending on your preferences, study techniques, and even financial situation, English grammar lessons can take place in very different environments. Let's start with an obvious comparison: learning by yourself versus learning in a classroom versus learning with a tutor. Each of these options have advantages and disadvantages. But broadly speaking, every learner will be in one of these 3 situations. Learning by yourself is comfortable. You can do it everywhere. Choose your own materials. Practice by using the resources you really like, and most importantly, save a lot of money. Very often, students who choose to learn by themselves make use of online grammar lessons and language learning courses. Some students are not able to learn by themselves. They lack motivation or simply want a more social learning environment. They tend to choose English lessons in classrooms, so they can interact with the teacher and the rest of the class. People who choose to learn with a tutor might be in a hurry. They need to learn English and its grammar for their jobs, or are planning to move to an English-speaking country. So they need a more intensive and personalized way of learning. This is the most expensive option of the 3, but if we choose the right tutor, it can also be the most efficient. Whether you are learning by yourself or in a classroom or tutor environment, you will notice that depending on the resources you or your teacher or tutor use and how they are used during your session, English grammar lessons can come in many forms. It will not bore you with a ton of unnecessary details about all the ways in which students and teachers do their grammar lessons. So I will only give you a couple of ideas for what to do with the tools you have. Authentic learning. Authentic learning is a learning approach in which the learner takes an active role rather than memorizing. Learners experience and apply what they learn. This technique works very well in classrooms because it involves exercises such as role-playing, group discussions, group projects, and giving and receiving feedback, among others. Rote memorization. Rote learning is based on repetition. The central idea is that the more you repeat something, the faster and better you'll be able to remember. Many language learners use this technique when learning by themselves. An example can be learning the present simple rules by heart. Learning present simple rules by heart. Memorize them, that is, by reading them over and over again. Rote memorization can also be practiced with the use of flashcards and mnemonics. Spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is related to rote memorization because it uses the concept of repetition. And however, spaced repetition does not make the student repeat a word or grammar rule 1,000 times during a grammar learning session. Spaced repetition brings old words and rules back to the learner at specific intervals, which helps them remember them in the long run or in the end. Now, learning through writing. Writing is a language skill that many language learners tend to ignore. The truth is that writing can be an amazing tool to learn English grammar because learners can apply all the knowledge they already have and put all the theory into practice. This kind of learning method is normally used in classrooms and by tutors. And it provides learners with valuable feedback they can learn from. Whatever learning technique you use and whichever learning environment you choose, make sure you feel comfortable and have fun while learning. Learning on your own does not mean it has to feel like a chore, something you have to do even if you do not want to do. By using the appropriate methods and resources, everyone can learn English grammar and enjoy their English grammar lessons. Step 5. Learn from your mistakes with English grammar checkers. This is another very important step. I personally recommend you to do this. Learn from your mistakes with English grammar checkers. Now, grammar checkers are tools you can rely on to find mistakes you do not see when writing. They are designed to find different kinds of errors as you write, so they give you immediate feedback you could not have otherwise. Unless someone is correcting your writing later, which can take days or even weeks. There are now thousands of great grammar checkers available, but they tend to have the same main features. They find spelling errors and give you correct options. For example, if you write teenager, the checker will underline the word and suggest teenager as a correct word. Okay, this is just an example. They tell you when you might have made a grammar mistake and offer possible solutions. For example, when a word should be in the plural, but you wrote it in its singular form. They normally have an autocomplete option, which analyzes that you are writing and gives you possible endings for your word or sentence. Many include additional features such as a dictionary, a translator, a text editor, and sometimes even a plagiarism checker. As a learner of English, you are the perfect candidate to use a grammar checker. They have a lot of advantages and can help you in many different ways. Here are some examples. They will save you time since they tell you where and what your grammar errors are. You can correct them directly without having to reread your text several times. However, remember to always proofread your writing by yourself at least once. The computer is not always right. So they will give you immediate feedback. This is another example. You will get to know your mistakes as you write, and if you keep track of them and analyze them, you will know the grammar areas you need to work more on. Now, Now the third important example is your spelling and punctuation will be on point. Checkers also check spelling, punctuation, word order, and portion, how words, phrases, sentences, and paragraphs fit together in a correct and logical way. They will help you learn how to write correctly and will make sure the text flows well, has continuity or makes sense. Many checkers include grammar explanations. You will be able to learn or review the rules you have broken immediately, so you can improve your grammar while you write. Step 6, apply the grammar you learn. Grammar rules alone will not help you improve your English if you do not actually use them in your daily life. There are many ways to use English on a daily basis that will not take a lot of effort on your part. Here you have some ideas. Think in English. Even if your English is still very basic, try to have conversations in your mind, describe what you see, think about your grocery shopping list, tell yourself a joke, the sky is the limit, there is no limit to what you can do. Now start journaling. Start journaling. Journaling can be an amazing way of getting to know ourselves. There are no rules except for the ones you decide on. Your journal is your personal space. If you journal in English, you will additionally be practicing your grammar, vocabulary, and writing skills. Use post-its. Post-it your house. Write the names of different objects in English and stick the post-its all over your house. Every time you use an object or see a post-it, you'll remember what it is called in English. Translate your social media. All those apps, programs, and websites you use on a daily basis probably have an English version. Change the settings into English for a superb immersion experience. Engage. Chat with people in English, give your opinion in forums, answer other users' questions. Try to engage in English conversation, whether in real life or online, as often as you can. Read in English. Read in English. Reading is a skill that helps improve every other aspect of the language. Read on a daily basis at least for 10 to 15 minutes to improve your vocabulary and grammar. Then use what you have learned when you have a conversation or need to write an assignment. Listen to podcasts and audiobooks. Understanding native speakers can be quite difficult at the beginning, but if you listen to English often, your brain will start to catch up. Listening practice will improve your speaking and grammar skills if you do it actively while paying attention. Write in English every time you can. If you feel journaling is still too challenging for you, there are other options to start with. Write your grocery, shopping, or to-do list in English. Send text messages in English. You can add the translation if the other person doesn't speak English. Write short text every day and make yourself use the grammar rules you have learned, etc. Talk a lot. This is something which is, again, very crucial. Try to speak English as much as you can. Talk to yourself in the mirror, find online friends and video chat with them. And if you already live in an English-speaking country, try to only use English in your everyday conversations. If it is just a simple hello or have a nice day. The possibilities of using English is in our daily lives are practically endless. Apply these tips or come up with others yourself. The most important thing is that you have direct contact with English every day. Now let us look at the step 7. Keep building on your knowledge. I have heard many times that you never finish learning a language, and I totally agree. We do not even know everything about our native language, so we cannot possibly expect to learn all the English there is. But that does not mean you will never be fluent. If you keep on learning your grammar, doing your homework, and using English as much as you can, you will indeed become fluent very soon. Learning English grammar requires practice, making mistakes, learning from them, and moving on. Use this guide to have an easy start, and then continue learning grammar as your English level goes up. Be proud of every little step you take and of every success, however small. I'm sure one day you'll look back at this video and think, wow, I have come so far. Grammar is one of the most important components of every language. It would be practically impossible to become fluent in English without learning its grammar rules. So learning a language is a journey, and grammar is the best pair of boots you can use to make it. This video guide has given you an overview of what English grammar is and how you can use it to your advantage. Now it is your turn to apply what you have read and what you have watched and become the next fluent user of English. Stay curious, my friends, and as always, happy learning. I wish you happy learning. Stay curious once again, and if you haven't subscribed my channel, please do subscribe my channel. Hit the like button, click on the bell icon so that you can receive my new videos, and please share this video with your friends, families, and others as much as you can. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.